Hello, and welcome to today's workshop. And in celebration of my new green screen studio, this is behind the scenes because this is live. Actually, if you're watching the replay, you're not going to see behind the scenes because you'll probably be seeing another background. But those who are here live are able to see the green screen and some of the sides and the lights. So I'm going to be shooting a lot of videos today. And when I first started doing video, it would take me hours to get the video done because I didn't really know what to say. I was kind of nervous and how to angle the camera, where to put everything. So for me, it's a lot easier to have kind of a setup like this where I can literally just sit down, turn on the lights, like lights, camera, action type of thing, right? So that's kind of where I am now in my business. So when I sit down and do a video or stand up, whatever, I want to get it done in a reasonable amount of time where I like the outcome. And then, of course, usually go ahead and edit the video because there's always some things that I don't like, or I reword, or I fumble on my words. And if it's some kind of recorded something, I like it to be nice and succinct and not have a lot of errors in it. And so I like to do some editing. But when we're live, you can't really do that, right? So that's the difference. So if you're explaining some type of product or service, or maybe you're trying to get people to opt into your list, or you want them to subscribe, give you their email, or if you want them to get into a Facebook group or subscribe to your YouTube channel, buy your book, get a free chapter. These are all things where you need to convince somebody to do something. Even if it's something that you're giving away for free, wouldn't you agree that you still need to convince someone to do something? Because they could just pass you up. Even though it doesn't cost them a thing to do, they might not want what you're giving away. They might not want what you're talking about because you're just not conveying it in such a way that entices them to take that next step with you. So that's what I'm going to be helping you to do in this workshop mini. So hopefully you're excited about that. And it's a very, very simple formula, and you can make this complicated if you want. You know how I like to simplify things. And I just told you that when I sit down, I want to just get it done. I don't want to be sitting here all day, thinking about what I want to say, or say it this way, or should I say it that way? I'm not sure if I should tell this story or that story. You kind of want an idea before you actually sit down to either do a video, or let's say you're doing like a lead page or something like that. You want some kind of idea of what you want to say and the message that you want to convey before you actually start doing it, so it doesn't take you all day. Pro tip. That's something that I didn't used to do. I used to like get all ready for my video and be like, now what? You don't want that. You want to be prepared. Okay, so that's kind of like rule number one. All right, so the very first thing that you need to do, and we're talking about written and video. So we're not just talking about video here, okay? So let's say we're talking about an email blast to subscribers, and you want people to do something like subscribe or click on a link or whatever it is. So the very first thing you want to do is talk about the overview of what you're going to be talking about in this little segment of time, because we're not talking about a lot of time here. We're talking about, if it's a video, it's like less than 4 minutes. If it's an email, it's not paragraph upon paragraph upon paragraph, right? It's just a short little blurb. What are you going to be talking about? What is the overall theme of why you're here and why they should be reading or listening to you today? So for instance, I just told you why we are here today. in order for you to be succinct and to sell something or get someone to the next level, right? That's it. That's why we're here. That's all I said, literally in one sentence in the email, and that's why you're here today, right? Very, very simple. So that overview is very important because otherwise people are going to be just confused about what you're talking about. Just give a little overview. The next thing you want to do is you want to tell a little personal story or blurb about why you're even putting this together, right? So when I first started, I told you, I said when I first started doing videos, back when I first started doing videos, like, 7, 8 years ago, I would get ready and sit down in front of the camera and see that red light or green light, whatever it is, look at it and be like a deer caught in headlights. I had no idea what I wanted to say, and it took me literally 7 hours to film a less than 7-minute video. It was crazy, and I was just like, my mind was blown and I was frustrated, right? So that's my personal story, and I know that other people go through that as well. Or you just sit down in front of the camera and you're like, you don't know what to say, or you don't say the right thing. Aren't you frustrated when that happens? So that's kind of a little personal story and maybe like some pain points that I just talked about in having to either sell something via video or written word, right? How to get someone to take the next step or take some action. We don't even have to use the word selling or sales, right? So then after you do that, you say that little blurb, then you want to talk about, 3 to 5 maybe benefits of why whatever it is you want that person to do, why they should do it. Why they should do it. Okay? So why should you watch this live training that we're doing here? So that people will subscribe to your list and you can communicate with those people after they opt in, right? You can grow your email list, and that's one way to grow your business, right? So those are some benefits. You'll be able to make more personal connections, and people will understand you better and want to watch whatever it is you're doing. They'll be interested in what you're doing and taking that next step because you communicated to them in such a way the benefits of why they should do what you want them to do, right? So what you want to do is talk about what is in it for them and why it's important for them to do it. So don't just say, oh, because so that you can grow your email. Someone will opt in just so you can grow your email list. No, you don't just want to grow your email list, right? You want to make more sales. You want to make connections with your subscribers. You want to grow your business. You want to be able to invite them later at a certain point. So if you had their email address, you can do that. You can communicate with them now and in the future, right? So think about what is in it for that other person and why they should listen to you. Think about that and state the benefits of what they're going to get out of it, the specific benefits. So this is where you should really, start to understand who you're actually communicating to, right? So I'm communicating to you, and the reason why you're here is because you want to make more sales and you want to get more subscribers. And type in what you ultimately want. Type in why you're here. Help me out so that I can see specifically your name and why you came here today. okay? And this doesn't have to be very, very complicated. And the more specific that you get, the more you know your customer, your ideal customer, then you can kind of talk their language and know the reasons why they need what you're putting out. Okay? So and you can see it. We talk about this too. We talk about this in the copywriting workshop mini, where we talked about bullets, and these are kind of your bullets, your 3 to 5 things that you want to convey, and you only have that short amount of space, right? That bullet space, that paragraph, that short amount of time in your video. So you need to actually write that out before you actually film your video, or, if you're writing it out, then you have a little bit more time. But those are the things that you really, really want to have and to nail down, so that you're clear on your message and you're clear on why that person should take the next step. This is so important. And what I used to do and what I sometimes do is I'll literally write out a list of 15 to 20 bullets and then pick the top 3 to 5 as to which ones I like the best, because you don't have the time, meaning you don't have the attention span of your audience for them to read a million things that you need them to see, right? You only have that short, so you better pick the best ones, right? William says, I want to learn from your experience. Yeah, exactly. That's another selling point, right? I can say, I've been doing this for 7 years, and I can tell you all the pitfalls, and you can avoid having to experience those pitfalls yourself. You can just avoid it and take the speedboat right over those pitfalls, avoid it, and I'll tell you exactly what to do, right? So that could be one of my 3 to 5 benefits. Okay, yeah, Vicky says working on my customer avatar and wanted to learn more about writing geared for her. Awesome. What you want to do again is that middle section is actually your most important part of this whole thing, those 3 to 5 bullets. So really hone in and study your customer and know what you want to say in those 3 to 5 bullets. Because let's say if you're doing a video, I would open it up and I would say, now I'm going to explain the top 3 things that you need to be aware of before you start to sell anything. And I would go 1, 2, 3 and list it out. So it's very clear about how long I'm going to keep this person, and I'm only going to be talking about 3, and I'm not going to drag it on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Okay? So after you do that, after your 3 to 5, then you're just going to go ahead and just recap maybe like another overall, like say what you said in the beginning, but in a different way, right? So you don't say the exact same thing, but describe some other benefits of what you're doing, what your message is, and kind of sum up everything that you just pretty much said, right? So it's just a summary, an overall summary, and you can even highlight and even say what you said in your bullets in a different way. Don't drag it on too much and don't repeat everything that you said, but just, say it in a little bit of a different way, because you should have different ways that you say things, right? So you're not saying the same thing over and over and over again. So it's just a little summary blurb, right? Just to recap everything. And then finally, what you want people to do is to take action on something. You need to ask them to take action of whatever it is you want to do. you want them to do. Don't assume that they know what they need to do next. If you want them to subscribe to something, say subscribe to my YouTube channel, which you should do right now if you're watching this on YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you want them to join your Facebook group, please join my Facebook group, Passive Income with Content. The link is in the description. Please join that right now. You'll get a ton of content from me about passive income with content, right? If you want them to buy your book or get a chapter, say, just ask them to do that. Don't beat around the bush, because at this point in time, you've got that person watching your whole video or consuming your written content, right? So why end it and not ask them to take the next step with you? That would be cuckoo, right? You need to be direct and ask the person or tell the person what you want them to do next. Simple as that. And you can't leave out any of these points. And as you can see, and it's not very, very hard to do, right? And then when you kind of incorporate your own personality, that's why I love videos, because you can incorporate your personality, you can use inflections in your voice, and you can make that connection with video. And you guys know that I do a lot of video. So if you want somebody to take action on something, right, you need to, number one, be clear. You need to be concise and direct. Okay, those are the three things that I'm going to leave you with, because you don't want to drag on and on and on. You don't want to be confusing, and you don't want to be wishy-washy, whereas you're like, the person doesn't even know what to do next. So if you just kind of stay organized and you know the benefits that you bring to your customer, and you know what the importance is of them taking action on what you have to offer, then you need to convey that in a concise manner. And it's very formulaic. And this is the exact formula that you can use for everything. Just plug it in, pretty much everything that you're doing. You can mix and match and change it up, but it's really just the formula, right? Open it up, talk about the overall gist of what your content is, a little personal blurb, 3 to 5 bullets, recap, and action step. That's it. All right, I'll see you on the next workshop.